Give It Everything by Christian Wallace. Below are a selection of emails from Leonard Tomlins, a person of interest in 2 separate missing persons cases in the North Sheffield area. It has been the conclusion of the writing officer and his colleagues that Leonard Tomlins has passed away since the writing of these emails. Until further information can be found, these emails offer the only narrative available on the dual disappearances of Sarah Lither and Samuel Tomlins Lither. 7:29 p.m. 19 of the 5th, 2014. Email to James Lang. Subject, sorry. Hey man, sorry I haven't had a chance to speak to you before you left. Didn't really know what to say since I missed your goodbye party. Still though, I kind of have an excuse. Woke up on Friday and went through the whole routine. Cleaned up a little for Sam's visit, got myself showered and ready. When I went to leave, there was a dog waiting by my front door. Like, seriously, just this manky looking little thing with a note around its neck that read, "Give it everything." It was a real curveball. I took the little thing in and it made itself at home whilst I went and knocked on some of the neighbours' doors. After a while I was told about a guy a couple doors down who had just lost a dog a few weeks ago. But when I saw him, he told me they found their dog dead a couple miles away in a ditch. By the time I came back, it was too late to come see you. So, real sorry for that. I'm going to go try and take it to the shelter tomorrow with Sam, and then maybe things will go back to normal. Maybe we'll have heard something about your case, eh? Best of luck. 4:14 p.m. 25th of the 5th, 2014. Email to Helen Ansbury, reception@sheffieldShelter.co.uk. Subject: apologies over this afternoon. Helen, I'm so sorry. Can't emphasise enough that what happened today is not normal. Sam has never behaved like that before. I've already made a donation to your website that I think will cover some of the damages caused by Sam in the reception area. And I have a friend who works in flooring and I'm sure he could do something about the stain on the rug. And I'm more than willing to pay for any medical expenses that result from the bite on your hand. And again, I just want to apologise for the mess he caused. Sam is a perfectly healthy and normal child. I don't know what would have made him do that. Just can't emphasise it enough. And I know it might be the last thing you want to think about, but please phone me so we can discuss you taking in this dog. I know Sam spun a pretty compelling tale, but that dog is not my dog. Sam's mother and I didn't buy it for him 2 years ago, and we've not spent the last 3 months trying to put it down because we want to move to a nicer house with wooden flooring. In fact, Sam's mother and I have split up. We no longer live together and haven't since Sam was 2. I don't have the money to look after this dog. I don't believe I can give it the home it deserves. For the sake of the animal, please phone me on the number I've left at your reception. Best regards, Leonard Tomlins. 6:23, 27th of the 5th, 2014. Email to James Lang. Subject: bad luck, man. Hey, so I heard about the trial. I guessed after I didn't hear from you on Friday, but your mum filled me in when I saw her a couple days ago and she passed me on this new email address. She says you guys get email access for good behaviour. Is that right? So yeah, I don't think I've had the chance to fill you in, but I wound up keeping the dog. Sam's been real weird about it. He went home after the weekend and told Sarah that I bought him a dog. And he says to her, no joke now, that I told him that if he didn't behave and tell Mummy how important spending time with Daddy is, that I'd kill the fucking dog. Next thing, Sarah's phoning me and going nuts. She's all horrified and threatening to get Alan to come kick me arse. And obviously, I'm pretty pissed, so I start screaming too, and next thing I know, some real nasty stuff gets said, and we don't talk for like a week. So yeah, the kid clearly loves the dog, so I didn't really feel like I had a choice. Guess the next move is taking it to the vets. Thing is though, I just don't like the dog. When Sam's not here, it just sits and looks at me, and almost never moves. It's just not right. It doesn't move right or behave right. And when Sam does come here, it acts real normal, but only around him. And when Sam does come here, it acts real normal, but only around him. And then it guards him from me. I check in on him at night, and he just sits on his bed and stares. And if I come close, it growls. There's some other really weird stuff too. I've checked 100 times, and I'm desperate to hear other ideas, but I swear this dog hasn't been to the toilet at all. Seriously, every day I put him out in the garden and I haven't seen anything left. It's not that big of a garden. And the damn thing eats too much. It went through 50 kilograms of food in a single day. It's eating through my damn bank account, and it's not even a big dog either. A bit bigger than a terrier, but smaller than a Labrador. I must be missing some piece of the puzzle, like maybe it digs holes and buries the mess. You used to have dogs. Is that something they do? 8:02 p.m. 5th of the 6th, 2014. Message to James Lang. Subject: Thanks for the call. Hey, it was nice speaking to you properly. I know you don't get long on phones, and ringing me meant missing out on a chat with your mum. Still though, thanks. So yeah, I followed your advice. It was a really clever idea putting plastic talc down on the dog's bed. Didn't really go as planned though. Not that it didn't work. It's just that what I found didn't make any sense. I mean, the marks just got real weird. They started looking like a dog, but changed with each new print. Next thing you know... You know what, don't worry. It just didn't work. And I'm beginning to think that this is actually Sam. Maybe he came home when the teachers weren't paying attention. I don't know how, but he must have. I think something is really wrong with him. Every time he comes around, it's just not the same. He sits by that dog for hours, and no matter what I do, I can't go near them when they're together. Sarah's been feeling the same way. They're talking a lot since Sam's been misbehaving so much, so that's one good thing, I guess. Still going back and forth between us, and Sarah thinks that's the problem. I told her she could take full custody for a month or two and see if that helped, but she didn't want to take the dog, and Sam would never leave it permanently. He only lets it stay here with me because, and I'm quoting now, he needs to make sure Daddy behaves. Which, yeah, is probably one of the freaky things I've heard in my life. But lately he's been a pretty freaky kid. I don't really know how to handle it. The other day I found him letting the dog clean up a cut, and the dog was just licking away, and Sam was moaning, real loud. Even the neighbours came out to see what was going on, and all I could do was drag the kid by the collar inside, all while the dog tried to eat my ankle. I'm pretty sure everyone on this street thinks I'm some sort of weirdo. If you'd heard the noises Sam was making though, you would have thought it too. It wasn't right. They aren't noises a kid should make or even know how to make. Makes me wonder what he's been exposed to at Alan's. I asked him why he's letting the dog do it, and all Sam could say was that the dog was hungry, and he wanted to feed him, and it felt good. So yeah, thanks for the dog advice, man, but honestly I don't think it's the dog. I think Sam's got some serious issues. I think he's the problem. Though I don't know how or why. 2:42 p.m, 6th of the 6th, 2014. Email to Dr. Sletter. Subject: Please phone me as soon as possible. Urgent. Dear Dr. Sletter, I really don't understand the content of your last email. I would appreciate a phone call so we could discuss what happened in your veterinary office on Thursday afternoon. Typically in situations like this I would pay for any damages or fees the dog incurred, but as far as I'm aware you've made no attempt to seek reimbursement. Also, I've heard you fired your assistant, which was really unnecessary. It wasn't her fault she was bitten by the dog. And as far as I'm aware, he's a stray and a mongrel, so anything she said after being bit was probably the result of an illness, fever, maybe even a concussion she received during the struggle. I know she said some silly things, but let's be honest about what probably happened. Your business lost another client's dog during a struggle with mine, and I feel very responsible. I don't know if that little guy jumped out a window or made an escape through an unguarded door, but either way, I wouldn't feel comfortable if you blamed the poor woman who got bit. Even if she did accuse my dog of swallowing a beagle whole like a snake. It was clearly something said in panic. So please phone me so we can discuss this further. Best regards, Leonard Tomlins. 2 a.m. 26th of the 9th, 2014. Message to James Lang. Subject: update on Sarah. Hey man, I know it's been a while. I didn't really feel like speaking to anyone after Sarah disappeared. I figured I'd drop you an email because I've changed numbers a couple times since we last spoke, and I don't know if you got the right one. Just wanted to say thanks for trying to help with the search. I know you tried to get out for special circumstances so you could come look. Your mother told me the whole ordeal with the patrol board. Sorry that at the time I didn't really think to say thanks. Now it's just me to keep looking. Yesterday all the volunteers officially quit, and the police said that they had no choice to focus on other cases. So this is the first time in a while it's just been me on my own, not surrounded by cops or volunteers. So yeah, I don't really know what to do now. Sam's moving back in tomorrow. Can't really stay with Alan. I always thought I'd be such a good dad. And when I told him he'd be living with me, he got so happy and jumped up and down, and he said, I knew he'd fix it. I knew he'd fix it. And I don't know. I guess all I can say, I've raised one fucked up kid. I must be a terrible dad. I don't know what I did that was so wrong. Sometimes when I'm feeling really angry, I don't even blame myself. I blame that fucking dog. I need help, man. I really need help. Please phone me when you get the chance. 4 a.m. 21st of the 11th, 2014. Message to James Lang. No subject. Hey, I wanted to say sorry. I didn't really do a great job of being a friend, did I? No one's going to really know what's happened, and you're no different. We used to talk so much before the wives and the kids and whatever it was that got you and your brother in so much trouble. So I just want you to know that they'll come and ask questions. They're going to comb this house. They're going to want to know so much, and they'll think I've got the answers, but fuck man, I don't. You'll believe me, won't you? You know I would never hurt Sam or Sarah. Just went to the shop and I came back. That's it. Seriously, that's it. Sam was sitting with the dog when I left. I asked if he wanted to come with, and obviously he said no. So I just left him there. Then I came back, and the house was a wreck. At first I thought an oil pipe under the house must have exploded, but then I got closer. There was this smell. Jesus. Couldn't even stay in there. Nearly passed out. Writing this at the library, I took a shower at the gym. I had to. The stink followed me everywhere I went. I think that it might have finally taken a shit. There was so much of it. It didn't look like shit, it was like oil, but with hints of red, like blood. like blood and oil, about a foot high through the entire house. It was turning the walls and floor to mush. Like everything had been stewing in that slick broth for years. Gallons of it must have spewed out that little thing. From the marks on the wall, the force was horrific. I mean, fuck. Some of the windows were smashed out. On one of the walls, embedded in a cheap plasterwork, I even found a tooth. And a dog collar. And a ring. I think it was Sarah's. Jesus Christ, I've gone mad. Sam's gone. I think it's hurt him. It must have done something to him. I went looking through the shit and the blood and the other stuff. Maybe guts, I don't know. But I couldn't find him. No trace of him. Nothing. I won't be here when you get out. If they ask you about me, you can show them this. It won't help much, though. I'll be dead. I've got nothing left. Sarah's gone. Sam's gone. I think I get it now, though. Give it everything.